No coffee today because it's the middle of the day. Usually I drink coffee, but salsa water will work. Let's get started. Hey everyone, I'm Carmen, the creator of MakeGirlSense.com, a personal finance blog dedicated to teaching you all about the do's and don'ts of personal finance with a little humor on the side. I like to not take everything so serious. And today I have a announcement. Surprise? I mean, it's not a surprise for me. So I have a new side hustle and I'm super excited to tell you guys about it and kind of why I did it, the reasoning, not that I just said that, the why, the process, the investment. I want to go through all that with you guys. So I can't speak today. Let's dive into it. All right, so the big surprise is my side hustle now, for a lot of you maybe in the debt-free community or looking for new side hustles, is VIPKID. So I just actually found out today that I got hired by VIPKID. Let me snap my fingers and transform. Oh, I'm transformed! No, actually this is the uniform for VIPKID. For any of you guys that don't know what it is, it's actually an online teaching platform to teach children English in China. Let me try that again. It's an online training, one more time. It's an online teaching platform to teach kids English in China. There we go, nailed it. VIPKID. So the reason why I'm picking up a side hustle is, one, because I have something going on in the pipeline in the next year or so that I really want to make sure I gear up and make as much money as possible so I can save it and just do what I need to do. This is the best way to have a steady income. So one, I wanted a steady income to gear up and save for the coming year or maybe 2 years. And this will allow me to increase my income. Two, I really love kids. I've always thought maybe I'm a teacher at heart. So this will be a good way to dip my toe in the pool as far as teaching is concerned. Even though it's remote and it's kind of removed from what teachers do on a day-to-day basis as far as being in the classroom. But it is a virtual classroom. You are interacting with real kids. And I like to see them connecting the dots and being able to do that. I think it's just going to be so beneficial. And three, this just kind of like breaks up the routine. Again, it allows that steady flow of income that I feel like I'll need for security purposes and just being able to pay off debt and, do a little more spontaneous things, even though I pretty much do a lot of spontaneous things. But that'll just increase my income, allow more flexibility in the things that I'm spending my money on, conquering my debt and just having that security, that steady flow, hopefully, if I book enough classes. All right, so with this new side hustle, like with most side hustles, there's somewhat of an initial investment, not to lead you guys astray, but I did have to purchase this shirt. That's the uniform, an orange shirt, and then a couple of school supplies, and I can run down that with you guys right now. All right, so I got a few fun things like this. It is a virtual classroom. You are teaching real children, so they need to, feel engaged somehow, and you have to buy stuff that's going to grab their attention because they are fairly young. But this hopefully will be something that will help me along the way. And I have a bunch of other stuff. I had to get a headset because I'll be speaking like this. Mic check, 2 1 2, eh. Okay, no, I'm not going to teach like that, but I needed a headset, so that was something I had to buy. And initially kind of before the whole interview, but I'll get into the process after I get into this investment. Got some of this really cool stuff from the dollar store. It was actually pretty cheap to just buy these little things, but essentially what you want to do, magic bag of tricks, is just make it look like a classroom, your surroundings. Like this doesn't look like a classroom, so I had to come up with a way to make my 1-bedroom apartment without disrupting my wife while she sleeps in the morning or she's leaving, transform it into a way that it looks fun and creative, but I can actually take it down. So this is what I did. I got a whiteboard. Bum-ba-da-bum. I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but I call it my portable classroom. I put this right behind me and I'm just teaching away. Isn't this cool? And then I just fold it up. I actually got 2 whiteboards. I fold it up when I'm done for teaching, and then it's not disruptive, it's not something I have to hang on the wall. I fold it up, put it right under the bed, and it's good to go. Okay, so initial investment. I say that you have to do an initial investment because you do have to buy a few things to go through the interview process. The only thing that's a little weird is, you know, you kind of make these little small investments up front, which, I mean, any teacher would possibly. But you have the chance of not getting hired, right? There is a possibility that you don't get hired and you buy this orange shirt. Like, what are you going to wear it for? Halloween? Yes, you could wear it for Halloween. Alright, so, I had to grab my receipts for my initial investment for VIPKID to go through the interview process. Not guaranteed the job yet, but I wanted to do my best, put on my best foot forward to be able to get this, secure it as a good go-to side hustle going forward. So I spent $8 at the Dollar Tree, and then I bought a wireless mouse, which I needed for my laptop. It'll just make things a little bit easier, and it just, even for work, when I will work remotely, it just helps. So I invested in a wireless mouse and that headset that you guys saw me with that cheesiness, and then some flashcards, some number stuff, some glue sticks, all that jazz. That came to $52, and then a $10 shirt. So that's 62 plus 8, and I think I spent like $15 more. So let's just say like around $80, and maybe that's just because I'm an overachiever. I wanted to get all this stuff. I didn't have any school supplies. Again, I'm not a teacher, but the cool thing about it is you can teach if you've had experience with kids and you have your bachelor's degree. Alright, so my initial investment was roughly like $80 for everything. The whiteboard, you know, the fun little sticks and stuff, my headset, a wireless mouse, all that jazz came to like $80. Sorry, it's really hot in here and I want to turn on the AC. It's going to be really loud. We're in New York, we don't have central air. Alright, so initial came to about $80. Wasn't sure if I got the job or not, but again, I wanted to put my best foot forward. I realized this is going to be a great investment if I get this job, because it will provide for a steady income at least for the next 6 months. That's how long the contracts are coming in, and then they can always get renewed and all that stuff. Anyways, which leads me to the process. So I said a couple weeks ago, I talked to a friend who's currently doing it. She loves it, has a good time. Also talked with somebody else in the debt-free community on Instagram quickly about it, and I felt inspired. I said, why not start earlier or sooner rather than later? So I started the process. Went online, filled out the application. It was fairly quick. They then set up an interview for you to do like a little mock interview. When you go to put in your information online, everything starts moving really quickly, but then there's like a lot of questions, but then there's like a lot of like prompt emails, and I don't know, it's just a crazy process, but it kind of moves slow, kind of moves fast. So just be mindful if you are looking for a side hustle and you think VIPKID, teaching kids English in China would be for you. Just know that, you know, you kind of want to be prepared prior to filling out the application because everything kind of moves pretty quick. So when I had an idea that, you know, I'd be filling out the application, I had gone to the dollar store, picked up some rudimentary kid supplies, again, like the whiteboard, and I decorated it, made it look cool. And then also I went and got my orange shirt, and I went ahead and applied online. Then they came back, and I'm trying to remember the process correctly. They came back with an email saying, hey, please, you know, we'd like to take you through like the first round interview kind of thing. Can you go on and do a mock class presentation? And so for that, I watched some YouTube videos. There's plenty on YouTube for, you know, guidance on how to get through this whole process. Watched a few videos, spoke with my friend who's currently doing it, the one that actually referred me, and got some, I don't know, like courage and confidence, and then I went ahead and did my first interview. Now, from what I understand, they give you an option sometimes to actually do an in-person interview, so a virtual in-person interview, whereas I just recorded mine, which apparently that is a little bit harder, because if you just record yourself teaching a mock class and pretending that someone's on the other end of the camera, it's a little tough, because you aren't really getting that human interaction, and you aren't getting any feedback about what you're doing or seeing a child. So you have to really pretend. It's a mock interview where you pretend that you're teaching a child, and maybe they make an error if you remember to like fake an error or whatever, or correct them. But that was a little challenging piece. I didn't get the option to do the in-person for whatever reason, so I recorded my interview as best as possible. They give you enough time to, kind of restart, and they take your best mock interview. But it's a really quick process when you actually sit down to record it. It took me maybe 20 minutes to do it. Submitted that, crossed my fingers, and then got an email saying, hey, like, let's do a second round. Like, you need to schedule like a real interview. That was the initial thing, like, worked out. So it was like, perfect, sweet. Again, I purchased all this stuff not really knowing if I had gotten the job. The first time around, I didn't have a headset, so for my mock interview, I didn't purchase an interview or the wireless mouse. But the second round is when I actually went and purchased a couple of other things, like flashcards, and studied the presentations that they gave during the whole course of the interview. So they send you emails, they keep you very engaged. This is the stuff that you need to go over. These are the the mock tests that you need to run through. This is the understanding that you need to have. And again, I was constantly watching videos. So then I finally had my in-person interview with a VIPKID kind of mentor. I interviewed with someone virtually at 6 a.m. on a Friday. And she lives in North Carolina, awesome mentor. We went through a mock interview. I took notes. I really appreciated her feedback, because the first time I had no idea. I was submitting this video into like this black hole, and I didn't know. Anyway, so the whole process from end to end has taken like a couple of weeks, because once you get through, kind of submitting your first interview, then you'll have to do a couple of like tests or quiz that they run you through some scenarios, basically little mini classes, not VIPKID classes, but basically to gauge your understanding of, and to actually reiterate your understanding of some of the basics and importance of teaching what you're teaching, right? So you kind of run through these little mock classes, and you take quizzes on what you've learned. And then you go on to the second interview process, and possibly a third interview, which is what they really call like your first and second interview. I don't know. So went through that process. Then I got an email like literally after I did it, like 2 hours after that, saying like, congratulations, like da-da-da-da, like you've done it. And I got my rate and all that stuff, what I'd be making from VIPKIDs, which was awesome, like an hourly rate. It's crazy. And then the background, I had to submit for a background check and just provide some contact information, and upload my transcript, do all that jazz. But now I have finally passed the background, and I only say finally because I made an error on my contact stuff, and it like takes a week to, they got it, they sent me an email saying that I made an error, but I was on my honeymoon, so it took me a week to like submit the corrected stuff, and then it took some time for them to go through the background again. Anyways, though, I have a new side hustle, which I think is awesome, and I'm super excited, and I can't wait to share more updates with you guys. But just to give you a quick overview, I'm doing it for a steady income, to be able to save more and put more towards debt, and then have some stuff in the future that I'm gearing up for. It's the whole process, and I just got noticed today, and it's awesome! So excited! Anyways, if you guys are interested, I haven't taught my first class yet, but I'm going to keep you updated. If you are interested and want to get started on this process because it seems cool and you got nothing to do this summer, and your mornings are free from like 4 a.m. to 10 a.m. This might be a great opportunity for you if you have a bachelor's degree and you have worked with children before. Not necessarily taught, but you've had experience with kids. I have a referral link. I will link you below. I'll let you know. I'll keep you updated on my progress, whether I like it or not. But use my referral link. Full disclosure, obviously, I get cash if you sign up, and then it just continues, because once you become a teacher, then you get cash if you refer somebody. So it's just a win-win. In a nutshell, thanks guys. I'm so pumped about this, really I am. I love children. It's such a passion of mine, and I just can't wait to see every little mind that I get to mold, just connecting the dots like boop, 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 boop. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Bye guys.